In this video guide, we're going to use Take Recorder in Unreal Engine to record some animation. So for this video, I want to use a technique that we explore in another video, which is basically streaming from Audio2Face Omniverse into Unreal Engine. So you can see the animation is right there. So this is just an example. You can use Take Recorder for anything that is animated in your Unreal Engine viewer. And right now I am using a audio file to animate the face of the MetaHuman character. So we already set up this in other videos if you want to check. Otherwise, you can use anything. You can use like the 3D person character uh, walking or a car moving, whatever you want. So the first thing we need to do is go into Window. And here we have a section dedicated to cinematics where we can find a sequencer and especially the one that we want to see right now, which is the take recorder. And it's the only one that we really need for this example. You can click and drag this panel anywhere you want. You can dock it anywhere you want. And you can set up the interface however you want. So this is the take recorder window right here. And we need to add a source. So the source in this case will be our actor, which is the MetaHuman. And you can use any other actor in the scene. But I'm going to use the MetaHuman. So I'm putting here the player start, which can also be used to record. But make sure it's the MetaHuman is selected. So basically you can select the actor that you want to record right here. And you also find some presets and other stuff. So once you're ready, you click record and then you record anything that you are selecting in the take recorder. So if you want to use MetaHuman, remember you want to select the MetaHuman, not the player start. And once you're ready, you click on record. That's going to start recording, and then you play any animation here. For example, again, you can use the play button on the Audio2Face, stream, and record. So that's all you need to do. Once you're finished to record, you click on stop, and that's going to record everything. So once you're finished to record, you can find anything that you recorded into the content cinematics takes, and those will be organized by folder, and you'll find all the takes that you have recorded. So anything that you basically do with the take recorder is going to be found in here. If you double click on that take, you can expand here the sequencer, and that's where you'll find the animation that you recorded, and then you can export it. So that's really easy to use. Take recorder, again, you can use it with any animation. Now I will show you a little bit more about the MetaHuman. So right here you can see that first of all, you need to address the FPS. So in this case, I will put 30 frames per second because if you see in Omniverse, that's the one that is going to be used in Audio2Face. If you go here in the Stream Live Link section in Audio2Face, you can see there is 30 frames per second. You can change that value if you want, but that's the default. Actually, you can change a lot of things in here. You can also send the animation to burst, and you can adjust like the eye movement, the head movement, the emotions, a lot of stuff in here. I'm not gonna go into depth with this. There is another video guide for Audio2Face. So I'm just gonna leave everything as it is, 30 frames per second. And this is the head that I'm using right here. But again, that's not the purpose. I just want to show you how to record the animation. So before you record, make sure you address the frame per second. And also remember that in the source, you want to use the BP actor, the MetaHuman actor, if you want to record the animated MetaHuman. Also here in the settings, before we export, we don't need so much quality. So I will decrease the quality to the low, to the minimum. You can also change and do unlit mode. So everything will be nice and light. We don't want heavy recording in this moment. Otherwise, it could not record because this is an heavy animation. You can see in the source, I have put the BP PIA, which is the MetaHuman, in the take recorder. And here I can also change from default to cinematic view, where you have the views settings. So now I can also play and record using this. So if I press play, we should see here the animation playing when it's recorded. And in order to do that, you need to run, as we saw before, the record button and then the play in the live stream from Audio2Face. So this is the setting that you want to have before you export. So minimum quality, record, and once you finish, you switch back to cinematic and go back here from unlit to lit. So you have the maximum quality. And then you can also export the recording. So what I want to do right now is, well, close the take recorder. So let's assume that we recorded just as we saw at the beginning of the video. Then you should have here two MetaHuman character. One is the one that is not moving. The other one is the one that is animated. So make sure you take, well, deactivate the previous MetaHuman that is not moving, both in the view and in the render. So if you go in the settings, search for render, just click on actor hidden in the game. So you will see only the one that is moving. Otherwise, those will overlap and you will have problems. So that's another important step if you want to use this live stream from Audio2Face. Now we don't need the stream from Audio2Face, so I'm gonna deactivate that. Again, this is explained in another video. And now we have two takes, you can see here. This is the first one, that's the second one. So I'm gonna double click to open that take, and that's gonna take me to the sequencer. So if you close down the content browser, you can see the sequencer and the animated MetaHuman that has been recorded using take recorder. So if you click once, you can just see one timeline. If you click two times, it will get you inside the various tracks that have been recorded for this MetaHuman. So if I double click also here, you can see it's showing me all the different tracks. And yeah, if you want to go there and change those, you can do it. Now, if I want to go back to see only the general, you can click on this little arrow here. And so this is how we basically move inside the sequencer. Really easy, but you know, you can also go up here in the cinematic mode and you can activate action frame, title frame, custom save frames, and the grid if you want to be more precise with your camera. You can also set up your camera, but I'm not doing right now. I just want to show you the take recorder and how we can export. So now that we are back here, make sure before you export that like everything is on the top quality. So you have the top quality of the recording for the export. And then all you need to do is be into the sequencer where your animation has been recorded. So in my case, I'm already right here. So I click on the little icon here with the Chuck movie device there, and then it's going to get you in here in the movie render queue. So you can render local, you can render remote. In this case, I'm going to use local, and you need to click here to choose the folder where you want to export. Now we're going to export a series of images because images are less compressed, and then you can edit them in a different software if you want. And if you click here in the settings, you can see that this is a JPEG sequence right now. And so you can also change here the various exports and the render settings and the output. So right now I'm just leaving everything as it is, and you can change it if you want a little bit. You can change the resolution and other settings for the export. So if I want to do like 4K, I can type like 4000. Let's do like panoramic, so 4000, 2000 for the width and the height. And also here, check the frame rate, because the frame rate is supposed to be similar or, the same of the one that you got from Audio2Face if you want to use again Audio2Face, and if you want to match with the recording that we've done. And I think that's fair enough, but you have other stuff you can manage from this panel. And so let's accept. And now we're ready to export. So if I click on render, it's going to start the rendering process. It's going to show this white window at the beginning, then it's going to turn black, and then it's going to show you a render preview of what you're rendering based on your camera, based on the sequencer. So right now we put the take from the take recorder into the sequencer. So we should see any moment here something appearing in the preview. And you can also open the folder where you choose to store the various frames. So you can see now it's at 0 still. So you need to give it some time. It needs to have time to render to the best quality. And now we have here in the folder, if you open the folder, we can start to see the various frames of the animation. And at any moment, which we could see here the face animating. So I guess we need to wait a little bit more because I didn't start the recording as soon as I play the animation. So maybe there are like a couple of seconds where the character doesn't move. So it's continuing here to rendering the images. That's another interesting thing about rendering image sequences, because you can check. You can see now it's moving the lips, it's moving the face, so it's working. And so you can stop the process. You can retrieve the process on halfway. So this is why usually when we work with animation, we render frames, not the video. And we can check the status also here in the movie render queue that opened up automatically in the panel. And now if I move on, you can see the other images right here. Those are JPEGs, and those will be 4K, or like 4000 times 2000. And then when I'm finished, I can take all these frames into Premiere Pro or After Effects or Natron or any other video editing software, and then I can mount them together. Now, if I want to change the format, you can click here back into the settings in the movie queue, and you can also save your own preset. I've already done that. And you can open the preset, or you can click on the plus and you have other presets for the export. For example, you can export BMP or EXR or PNG, which are even less compressed than JPEG. So the bottom line is it's better to do the compression and in the video editing software rather than exporting already the video from here. So you can manage that into a video editing application. So now I've chosen PNG, as you can see, and the PNG has also another important feature, which is getting rid of the background. So I will leave everything as it is, just gonna export PNG instead of JPEG, just to show you that it's not gonna have a background, and that's gonna be really handy when you work in a video editing, because you can see PNG here doesn't have a background, so you can put any background you want. You can do video montage, you can do photo montages with these images, and you can decide that later rather than create it into Unreal Engine. So now that we finished to render, I'm going to go here to plugins. I want to show you that you can also render a movie with like a video, not an image sequence. You need to activate the movie render queue and the movie render queue additional render passes if you want. There are more features in here. And that's, I'm not going to explain this to you. I just want to show you the images, the image sequence, because I think it's better. But if you want, there are instructions to activate that movie export. Now, just to show you here, this is Natron, and I've already inserted the files. To do that, you need a read node into Natron. Just want to show you how easy it is to switch from an image sequence into a movie, or just to play back the all the frames. You have the tools here in Natron. Well, there is a course in Natron if you're interested. So I'm gonna go and open the read, not as a single file, but as a sequence. So I'm gonna select that PNG sequence, click this and bring it into Natron. And you can see it's looking as it's a single file, because what it is gonna do, Natron is going to take those separated images, it's gonna create a sequence. And then you can also press W on select write, and you can export in another format, which could be images sequence again, or movie file like MP4 or AVI or other formats. So you just save, and that's the way it's going to export from Natron. And again, this is explained in the Natron video course if you're interested, or you can check also the Premiere Pro video course or the After Effects video course, where this process is even easier than this. Now, if we want to test the background, we can add a merge node pressing M, and with the merge node, we can go here in the background and we can add a solid. So if I add a solid and I bring it into the background here in the merge node, there's gonna have a background, different background. Now it's black, but if I double click here, I'm gonna get into the node and I can change the color of this to anything, and you can see that, well, basically we can place anything on the background there. So this is how we proceed then with more things in video editing, etc. But again, this is covered into other video guides, into other video courses. So this will be all for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel to stay updated for more, and also check our other previous videos and video guides, video courses. If you want to support us, if you want to thank us, please join the channel as a supporter, and that's good enough for this. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video guide.